Good morning, you guys, and happy Tuesday. Listen, I'm so excited. I feel amazing because I'm going to be honest and be vulnerable with you guys. So, here we go. As you guys know, or if you don't know, I am a full time content creator and I have been doing content creation for 4 years full time. This is my bread and butter, it's how I pay my bills. And I started with OnlyFans, I still do OnlyFans, but I wanted to pivot. I got to a point on my content creation journey where OnlyFans no longer fulfilled me. Um, it's been a blessing for me. It allowed me to quit my job during COVID, and I have been very blessed by being an OnlyFans creator. I will never regret it. It served its purpose in my life, and I'm ready to grow from it. I'm ready to create the type of content that's true to me. And so I embarked on this journey a year ago, making weight loss and fitness content and motivational content. I have a whole nother YouTube channel that's down below if you want to check that out on weight loss and fitness. And I made my Instagram focused around that. It was no longer focused around promoting OnlyFans. And I also made a new TikTok. So by doing that, I lost promotion to my OnlyFans. But I was willing to do that because, like I said, OnlyFans is just it's no longer in my heart. And for a while, I was going back and forth with it. I wasn't too sure whether or not I should make the weight loss, fitness, and motivational content or stick to what I know. But I found myself not really wanting to create content, kind of being sluggish with it, procrastinating, coming up with excuses, all of the things. And I feel like when you start to experience that, it's because it's not really what you want to do. And that's okay. And I learned that that's just not really what I want to do. And so when you remove all of your focus from one thing and you put it on another, especially in the entrepreneurial world, the thing that you're no longer 1000% focused on starts to not be as successful. And so my OnlyFans basically stopped being as successful as it was. And like I said, I was blessed, and I still to this day am shocked at how much money I made on OnlyFans because most people will never make that. And I still do well, but I don't do as well as I did before. And I would say over the past few months, my finances really started to take a hit because I'm no longer giving all of my energy and attention to OnlyFans, and I'm now focused on building my YouTube channels, building my Instagram, my TikTok around weight loss, fitness, and motivational content. And don't get me wrong, I still have fans that come in who still subscribe and spend money, but it's just not like what it was because that's just not where my focus is. And these past few months, on top of not making the money that I used to make, things have been really expensive. And it's literally just been one thing after another as far as coming up with money for something that I didn't expect. And and that's just with anything. That's not even just with being an entrepreneur. Like that shit just happens, right? It literally feels like it's always something, right? It's like sometimes you feel like you just can't get ahead because right when you feel like you are on track, then something else happens. You have to kick out money for that, kick out money for that. And I was experiencing that for the past few months, and it's like I couldn't get back on track. And so for the past 4 months, my rent was late. And it got paid. It was never to the point where I was, about to be served papers to go to court or anything like that, but it was late. And with the lateness comes late fees. So now you're paying, you know, what is it, 10% or 1% what you're late with. So it was like, dang, now I'm giving them extra money. But it's like, what could I do? Like, I can't make money come out of my ass, right? I just have to suck it up, deal with it, and try harder the next month. And it had got to a point where I was starting to get like annoyed with it because I was like, God, like, what is going on? Like, should I just go back to focusing on OnlyFans? Because I know if I just put 1,000% energy back into that, then the money will start flowing again. But I became torn because I'm like, it's just not where my heart is anymore. And if I put 1,000% effort back into my OnlyFans, then what about all of these other platforms that I'm trying to build and grow where my heart really is, those are going to start to not do as well, right? And so I was going back and forth with it, but God just kept telling me, like, no, just keep focusing on what you're doing. I got you. And so, I was being obedient. I just continued to show up every single day, making the content that is true to my heart. And, just eating the late fee, just eating the late fee, eating the late fee. And I remember saying back in September, I was like, one day I'm going to get back on track. One day I'm going to be able to pay my rent on time. Like, I know it's going to happen. I just don't know when. And I just I stopped thinking about what I couldn't afford and just started thinking about like how great it's going to be when I can afford this, that, and the third, right? When all the bills get paid on time and there's nothing stressing me out. Well, not stressing me out because I never was stressed, but just to the point where things are like how they used to be, right? And I remained thankful and I remained grateful for the fact that I'm still doing better than I was doing when I had my 9 to 5. And that's one thing that I just kept reminding myself, like even when I had my job, I still wasn't making the type of money that I'm making today, right? So I just kept all of that in mind, kept the faith alive, and just knew that eventually, if I just keep showing up, it's going to get better. So back towards the end of September, this company reached out to me and they emailed me and they wanted me to promote one of their products. And I've had a lot of companies reach out to me, but they never really were talking about like real money with it. It was more or less just like, oh, we'll send you a product. Can you promote us? Oh, we'll send you a product. Can you promote us? And I'm not really interested in doing that. I'm at the point where I want to be paid for my services, my platforms. I've built my Instagram over the course of 4 years. So, I don't want to just give a brand access to that for free just for a free product that I don't really even want in the first place. So I never really entertained any of it. But this one company reached out to me, and it's a well-known company, and they were asking me what my prices were, what my rates were. I was like, oh, rates? I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for it. So I was like, rates? Okay. Let me pull something out of my ass real quick just to see. So, so they were telling me they wanted to whitelist the content, and I didn't know what that was. I had to Google that. I'm new to the whole promotion realm. Okay, this is not what I'm used to doing. So they reached out to me. They told me to choose a product. I chose the product that I wanted, and it's a natural company, Dr. CB. It's a natural company. I've heard of the brand, but I never used any of their products. And so I chose the CBD oil. So they sent over a contract for me to sign. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm going through the contract, and the price, the rate that I asked, they were going to give me. So I'm like, all right. I still can't believe this is true. So I'm like, there's no way. This is like something's good. Something's not gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like being real skeptical. I'm like, I don't know. So anyway, I got the product. I made the video. I sent it back a couple of times, so they wanted me to tweak certain things, and then they liked the final video. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went through the steps on how to post it on Instagram so that they can, take control over the ad. Did all of that, and then it was time to pay. So because I'm new to this, I didn't know a lot of the steps that I had to take. Like I had to send an invoice, and I wasn't prepared for any of that. So, the lady who was working with me, like she was very, very, very friendly, like just walking me through the steps, do this, do this, do this, getting everything in order. So I'm like, I'm doing all that, but in the back of my head, I'm like, there you go. I was really thinking, I was like, I feel like this ain't gonna really happen. Like, there's no way this is gonna happen right now. And it's crazy. It's crazy because this is what I've been manifesting, but I still it's like it's here in my face, and I'm still like skeptical about it. Like, I don't know. So, anyways, long story short, I ended up getting paid for the ad. I was like, when I saw the money hit my account, I was like, like, oh my God, I really just got paid what I requested for an ad for a well known company, and they paid me for it. And it like really hit my account. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So I got paid. Um, and so I was able to pay my rent on time and catch everything up. And this morning I paid my rent. So I'm just so excited that that happened for me. And I say all this to say because, no one would have known that I was going through any type of financial struggle. Like, because I don't walk around like that. I don't walk around feeling negative, taking it out on people, stressing. I have had moments where I might lose myself for a moment, but I come back. It's never a full day of that. And that's because I just really believe in what I'm doing, and God put it in my spirit. And because God gave this to me, I know that He's going to make sure it works out. And I'm saying all this to you. When there's a seed planted inside of you, sometimes you might second guess it. You might try to ignore it. You don't act on it. And one thing I can tell you about seeds, because there was a seed that was planted in me years before I even quit my job, telling me I'm going to be a business owner. And it would come and go, it would come and go, it would come, then leave for about 5 months, then come back, then leave for another 3 months. And as it got closer and closer to time, when I finally quit, that seed wouldn't go away. I couldn't escape it anymore. It was like no matter how hard I tried to ignore it because I couldn't figure out the path, it was weighing on me and it would not go away. And for me, that felt like the time is now. Like when it gets to the point where you can't escape it, where it's literally all you think about, you're dreaming about it, you're eating it, you're drinking it, like it won't leave you, it's because the time is now. And that's how I started to feel with pivoting and making the type of content that you guys see me making every single day. It literally got to the point where I was sitting on the idea of making weight loss and fitness and motivational content, but I wouldn't really act on it, to the point where it consumed me, it consumed my spirit. And here I am doing it every single day because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it just feels right. It just feels right. And God's going to take care of me. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. If I have to downsize, and I have to downsize. But it has gotten to a point where I know that as long as I show up, as long as I learn, as long as I post, as long as I do what I'm supposed to be doing, it will work out. It has no choice to. And years ago I would be afraid of the thought of downsizing. Like, downsize. What's everybody going to think if I have to, you know, sell my house at the time I had a house? I did end up selling it, but, if I have to sell my house or if I have to swap out cars, like, what is everyone else going to think? Now it's to a point in my journey in my life where I don't care about any of that because I know that eventually I'll get all of it back, plus more than I ever could have imagined. And that's how I started looking at things. When I first was late on my rent, I was like, okay, worst case scenario, I just move. I just move. It is what it is. And for some, they might be like, I don't want to do that. And I don't really want to move either because moving is just a hassle, right? Like it's just annoying. Like the process of moving is just a headache, like having to go find somewhere else and movers and packing and unpacking and cleaning. Like it's just a lot. But it wouldn't have been the end of my world. It just is something that I have to do, right? So I never stressed it to the point where I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But at the same time, I knew that it was going to work out regardless of the path that happens. It'll work out. It always does. So, I feel like God gave me that opportunity to show me what He has in store if I just keep showing up, if I just keep doing what I'm doing. And so I wanted to share that with you. I've been making this type of content for over a year now, and I'm really starting to see the fruits of my labor. My platforms are growing, my community is growing. companies are reaching out to me and paying. Like they're actually paying me, so I'm excited to see what the future holds. And again, if you have a seed inside of you, do it. It didn't just pop up for no reason. There's a reason why you are getting this breakthrough. It's God. So act on it. Show up every single day for yourself. Like I said, today is an amazing day to pay my rent on time with no fee. It's great. It's great. And the money came right on time. So, like it always does. Like it always does. One thing about God is He shows up right on time. Amen. Bye, you guys.